It's not a good thing that we have military surveillance of my existence and a virtual presence through technology. It's not a good thing, but when I was a little kid and I said it was stupid to threaten everybody with nuclear war and murder and it shouldn't happen, and Jesus talked to me and agreed and said, "You're right, and you're the guy who's going to help me stop this kind of stupidity." And because I'm just a little boy, and he said, "You're going to be a little boy forever." So I believe in Jesus Christ, and I believe He knows what He's talking about. Okay, and I believe He knows, and I believe in what He did and what He's doing and what He's still going to do, like being eternal, grace being infinite, which means He that shows that He believed in me, and if He believes in me, then I'm good to go, right? I'm sitting there watching this soccer match, and they're talking about how the people in Argentina literally worship this professional soccer player. He gets hurt and he's crying, he's bawling on the sidelines because he can't finish playing this last philanthropy match for football, right? And I'm like, oh, I cried like that when my wife was sexually predicated on by the military members at Fort Huachuca, and she couldn't stop, and I had to get up and leave with the kids. And I sat there. I was taking my weight bench apart in our weight room in our house that we were renting in Cochise County, and I laid down on the floor for like a half an hour because I just had trouble understanding why my wife was doing this and why she was putting our kids through this. And then when after I was abused by all the assholes here in my hometown that are connected to the same military corruption and perversion, when they took the kids away from me in this place, I sat in a recliner and I cried for 2 days and had prayers with John in the cave in North Africa from the book of Revelation. We were talking about Saul of Tarsus and having to knock him off the horse on the road to Damascus, and me having to tell him, "You got to do it." And he's sitting there, and John had worse things than me. Saul of Tarsus killed his wife and kids and his sisters, and killed them, right? But you got to understand the people in this town that are scientists and manipulated my family. I had people come up to me in Sierra Vista, Arizona, real smugly at the grocery store I worked at, and said we could program people like they're programming a video game. And when my brother-in-law's sister Michelle was murdered, I knew she stood up for me. I knew, goddamn, they literally Wi-Fi programmed a person and impulsed them to go kill her. And it made everybody in this town scared to do anything to help me. When you have scientists that can manipulate people to do that thing, that things like that to other people, and make it look like it was an act of nature or what they call an act of God or natural selection, it's really creepy, and I get that. But the thing about it is you can't be afraid of them. Okay? You can't be afraid. Okay? Well, I've cried like Lionel Messi did. Okay? Like I said, when I didn't get to cry that way, I did when I watched Dan Rather on TV, and he was sitting there on a show, and they said he went through depression. I says, what has he got to be depressed about? Well, his kid died of like cancer or something, and he kept working. He had time to admit he was depressed, and so he finally took time off and realized that he was just trying to hide from his depression and his work and stuff. When my mom died of cancer, I was too busy being a single parent and doing all the things we have to do in the United States of America to survive through philanthropy. I didn't have the time to mourn her and miss her. And I sat down and I thought about it, and I sat down and Patrick wasn't home, and I just cried. It was like 2 years after my mom died that I was actually able to be given time in this hellhole of this philanthropy bullshit to cry about losing my mom. When she died, I told people the only nice thing about cancer is it helps you let go of people you love because they're in such hideous pain and misery by the time they're dying because of the toxins and the poisoning and the stress, right? And so we've become so murdered. So many of us die and are murdered this way that we're all connected, that we become desensitized to the pain and the suffering, and we think that mercy is when people give them morphine so they die masking and numbing the pain, and the people that are medical stuff where angels of mercy is what people say, which isn't true. Angels of mercy are people that stand up for the Lord's Prayer, stop the pain and suffering of disease, birth defects, and mass murder over, fighting over what we need to exist. Okay. Mercy is like what the lady asked Jesus about in the Bible. What about mercy? If you want mercy, you're going to be capable of mercy yourself, right? All right. And so I know every time I pick up the Samsung Galaxy 10 and that I talk and I wait 2 hours for it to load on YouTube, that it's more important than anything that's happening on C-SPAN, Fox News, Bloomberg Network, NASA Network. Okay. I know when I speak, it is more intelligent, more courageous, more kind, and more meaningful than anything anybody says, okay, on mass media or trending social media for millions of followers. And because that little kiddo, that James Bordeaux kid, he pays his extortion playing video games and having people watch him playing video games. Okay. That's how he pays money to live, makes money to pay money to live here. Okay. Because people like his personality. That's why I started watching. I like his personality. I like him. He seems like a really sweet kid that really likes sports and he has a very pleasing personality. Okay. You're a very empathetic character and you like him. Okay. But the game, I can't watch it anymore because I play the game myself, and after a while it gets so gosh damn boring. And when they loaded the new stuff in, it's like, oh yeah, they put in the stuff with all the white cornerbacks and stuff to be PC, and I don't play the fucking game. I can't stand their PC new world order mind training of how to think and act and what's going to happen in the future. It's like, I don't give a fuck who plays cornerback for college football teams for marketing. I don't care if their pigmentation is dark or pale. If I was going to play the game, I would want it to be realistic. And that's why I liked the older games, because most of your cornerbacks were brown and most of your kickers were peach. That's usually what happens. And I don't know why they don't give us recruiting for kickers from Australia. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding around. Did any of the consumers ask for that? I'm joking around. But Earl, you're a funny dude. Yeah, I know. I'm just tired of dealing with these assholes. They don't think they're assholes. People at Electronic Arts don't think they have anything to do with excessive compulsive behaviors that get people in bad brain activity that might lead them to be killers for the military. Or people that the military trained people get a kill because they lose it because they're tired of the world being the way it is. When you get those kids like that Gracious kid here and stuff like that, they get to the point where they're so bullied and they're so abused that they just want to yelp out to the world, like, you stop treating everybody this bad and stop supporting bullies and being like bullies and stuff. And so they'll go do anything to try just to get seen. And that's horrible. Okay. So everybody can forgive debt and trespass and love one another, eternal faithful peace. And not everybody needs to be the center of attention of all the egotistical expression and conflict. I was sitting there watching Shakira on the halftime show, and I was like, I don't even find people like that physically attractive anymore. I want to recover. I want to have romance and intimacy. I'm just not attracted to arrogant, pretentious, everybody pay attention to my sexuality assholes anymore. And I wasn't when I was younger. I found women physically attractive, and a lot of them were Edna was gorgeous, Miriam was gorgeous, but they weren't as egotistical and as obnoxious as these mean bitches on TV that are addicted to engaging in this cesspool of egotism with all these vicious psychopaths in military intel surveillance corridors. Okay, they're just not attractive anymore. They talk, and it's like, you watch them, it's like, yeah, I like women's shapes. I like Lil Falana's body, but I just no. I just don't find them appealing or attractive anymore. They talk. And they keep asking for more money. And their songs aren't, they're not beautiful. They're not expressive. Making yourself a sexual prize instead of being a romantic person that wants to, this night may have to last me the rest of my life. I'm going to go. I hope you guys mature rapidly, and I hope you guys stop wanting to be on TV for attention, for money, for sexual procreation and selfishness real soon. I really do. I hope you do. Peace out.